It's Open House Thursday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies. Hello, BC. How you doing?
Hi.
Yeah, Julie
Excellent
Ugbo.
morning, ladies.
How's everything?
Everything is fine. Everything is fine. So, I started this self-esteem and confidence boost challenge,
Yeah.
which was more like me sending newsletters on tips that can help people build their self-esteem. So I've called out to some people. It's been going on back to back. I've been following up, and I asked them to send in their reviews and their feedback, to let me know how it has helped them,
Right.
So far. We're getting to the middle of the month already. So I've gotten some feedback already, and I'm liking what I'm seeing. So the advice is when you get such tips, you have to implement them. You have to practice them. There's no need getting knowledge if you're not going to put in the work. You have to put in the action. That's where you can say knowledge is power, if you're putting in the action. So that's what I'm doing. And the fact that I'm still getting ready for all the things I'm selling, this is my T-shirt.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Lovely.
And I'm launching a new aspect of the business very soon. People won't see this coming, but people who know me, this is actually the first one I'm supposed to have started with. Yeah, so very soon you guys will. I've just said the ladies.
We know.
Yeah, well, I mean, in my, there's somewhere also subconsciously in my own mind too that I've always wanted to start that business, but I just haven't come because that's what I do. I don't eat proper food. I'm a snackaholic.
Yeah.
So that's like my third, but I just never had that thing to do. But
And
I'm
to
happy
do your
that
work,
you're-
do your work.
How you doing, Elijah Nima Akashat Zibiri?
I'm fine and very grateful. My baby Zaid is 1 year today.
Who's Zaid again?
Zaid is Miriam's
Hey,
son.
Okay.
Okay.
Your
Your God baby now.
Hey,
us.
baby plenty.
Yeah, we know.
So, Miriam,
We know you.
my mentee and younger sister. And so she had a baby, and baby is a year today. Zaid, I gave him, my younger sister named him Oshoheme in our own language, but they are Yorubas. And it's just a coolness of my eyes. I just carry Zaid, and it just has this way of warming my heart. So I want to wish him a happy birthday, my darling. Many more fruitful years. I will be seeing you briefly today because I have a meeting. I wish I had a free day. I've just spent the day with him.
I'm enjoying this black seed.
Really nice. So
I finished it.
You finished it already. Sure, never start.
I'm telling you, I mean, I really black seed tea, and you're sweet that you hooked me up.
There's a lot of things.
With lemon, fantastic.
Yes.
I enjoyed it.
Did you add the honey?
Yeah, the honey was in it.
Honey
with the
came
black
with
seed.
it. So Wholesome does honey and black seed mix.
I'm
Then
not
she does
tempted.
black
I
seed
got
in
my
it.
coffee here.
Yeah, coffee is the deal. You can't.
I got my coffee.
You know we have
my
different
coffee here.
conditions.
My
I
very
have a
superior
condition that I don't delve
coffee,
into anything.
Yeah, I love coffee. I mean, I'm trying to get off coffee, but it's hard. So this is celebration T-shirt. Fear not man. Fear no man. I fear nobody.
Yes,
God,
today,
so-
what are they now?
So today, the concerts are starting.
Yes.
This weekend, and the finale will be, I think, Sunday. But it's been nice for us to support celebration. Especially
already.
lots of successful artists have
going to be
performed in the early days. They performed at celebration. That's one of the platforms they use that helped them to come out. So it would be great for you to come see these new acts, and some of them are old acts. I mean, I'm sure there are a few surprises this weekend that'll be there. So come celebrate celebration. People are flying in from all over the world for celebration.
Yes.
We that we get the team. We act as it's all right. But let us support celebration. It's a fantastic tourist attraction, and we must show support on it. Okay, it's Thursday. It's our gisting day. When we go on a break, we come back. We look at the front pages of the papers. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Okay, we're going to start with The Nation. Tinubu presents manifesto to APC National Working Committee and governors. PDP crisis, Atiku drafts Mark Ibori Odili to beg Wike. 10,000 police officers undergoing training on digital skills, says IG. Senate begins debate on the 20.5 trillion naira appropriation bill. 95 million Nigerians to elect president next year, says INEC. Flooding, extent of damage to roads, public infrastructure uncertain. Students' work visas, restriction on Nigerians likely, says UK. And CGN to politicians, don't put pressure on judiciary. And yeah, so where are we starting with in the Nation?
Okay, let's do INEC. The INEC INEC boss was talking at an event organized by the National Endowment for Democracy, NED, and the International Foundation for Electoral Systems in the United States yesterday, and he declared that 95 million Nigerians will be eligible to vote. So initially I had said there were 87, but he clarified what he meant. He said they had 87 registered voters in Nigeria, 84 million registered voters in 2019, and that number increased with the 10 million continuous registration, voters registration process that they did. So we are looking at about 95 million Nigerians taking part in these elections, and that they have about
about 22 million extra.
No, that's for the voters, but I wanted to get the figures for the parties. They said about, I found the figure ridiculous. I'm sorry that it can't come to my head now. So they have about how many parties contesting for the presidential elections, which I did not understand how, but
about 18 or 19?
18, yes, 18 of them, 18 political parties in the race for the presidential elections, and 95 million voters that will be participating in the elections. We know only 3 major parties, and you know this usual party election things, but then I think the courts did not allow them to register some parties to save us cost of printing ballot papers, but then that's how it's going to be. We are now about 24 million voters in Nigeria, bigger, the whole of West Africa.
Yeah, so I said that, no, we said 14 countries combined has 74 million. So
we're
it's
about
like
25
this election.
2 million voters more than most West Africa.
All right, another story in
So
Nation.
the British government are saying that they may tighten their student and work visa conditions to address what is called an abuse of the policy by Nigerians in the country. Now, the government is worried over the number of relatives Nigerian immigrants bring to the UK after securing their student and work visa. So according to the UK Home Office data, the number of relatives brought in by Nigerians is almost at par. They say it's almost at par with the percentage of students and work visas issued to the African country. They had to compare it with countries like India, China, Pakistan, and United States, and they discovered that the other countries bring in less people compared to the people they have doing the students and work compared to what Nigeria brings in. So the data is here. It says India is the only country that is close to Nigeria, and Nigerians secured about 34,000 study visas to the UK, and they eventually brought 31,898 dependents. The same applied with work visas. They secured 8,972 immigrants that were issued work visas. They now brought in 8,576 relatives to stay with them. And the UK government is complaining about the high number, saying that, imagine China they have about 114,837 Chinese immigrants in the UK, and they brought only 401 relatives. The same thing with India immigrants, who had about 93,049 immigrants, and they had only 24,000 people.
So in a nutshell, we're coming with our husbands and wives. That's pretty much the dependent. Because if I apply as a student, then my husband is a dependent.
Yes.
So with my family, I'll come.
But it's worrisome for a country because we gave you work visa or student visa for you too. Even if you're coming with somebody, you have to move your whole family to stay under the work visa or the student visa.
So what they usually do?
You are supposed to come in with your family. So if your family, your family is a large family, you go leave some for house.
And that's why they want to stop
the UK should stop pretending as if this wasn't a revenue generation for them.
No, that's not on the table. Auntie, that's not on the table.
It's on the table.
That's on the table.
That's on the table.
Their issue is
they
that
made money.
You have applied
to go and study.
But most people who apply are possibly married.
Yes.
Their husbands or wives will become dependent. If they have children, they're likely to also
No,
bring
why
that
can't
in.
you go and study and come back home?
They don't. That's
Student
the idea.
visa that allows one family member.
Okay, it's our hot
to
topic.
work.
Maybe
It comes to
wait.
permit.
We can discuss it later as a hot topic.
Now,
If they took your body, let us.
No, no.
So they should stop.
Let's review the papers. PDP. I like talking about PDP sometimes. So Atiku has finally drafted the former Senate President David Mark and Peter Odili to go and beg, hopefully, because they had to cancel quite a bit of their rallies. They were supposed to have a few in Kaduna, in Kebbi, and other states, and they had to cancel those rallies because they wanted the outcome of this meeting. So they are taking this last final straw because they should have started their rallies. They should have continued their rallies, actually. So they're hoping that this last attempt to appeal to Governor Wike to support, because in the last, when they flagged off in Rivers State, Governor Wike's supporters were absent, and they did not, obviously, they didn't participate in that entire flag off. So they are trying that, hoping that the former Senate President David Mark and two others would help and plead with Governor Wike to at least stop this anti-IU must go, IU must go campaign.
Before you go quickly, the Inspector General of Police, Usman Akali Baba, yesterday said that 10,000 police officers are currently undergoing training on digital skills. He said the Nigerian police force has acquired drones as part of new technology to curb crimes and unmask all the criminal elements happening in the country. And the training was due to help us, handle the insecurity issues in the country. So he made the disclosure while receiving a delegation of the International Certification for Digital Literacy Foundation, which was led by the chairman, Tech Complete Solutions, Mr. A.U. Mustafa. And they're going to be partnering to train the force. So they're going to deploy everything technology to ensure that our police officers are,
Okay, let's move on quickly to the punch. Insecurity may hamper elections in Northwest and Southeast, says INEC. Court convicts freeze filmmaker Egbegbe after 5 years. FG approves 203 billion naira MTM takeover of Enugu Onitsha Road. Ariwola inaugurated as CGN 6 Judiciary's independence. Atiku campaigns in Kaduna, Wike holds UK meeting. ASU divided over the strike suspension, holds NEC meeting. APC approves Tinubu's manifesto, justifies campaign delay. And Senate summons State House, others over 5 trillion naira vote. Okay.
So Seun Egbegbe, the popular Yoruba actor that was arraigned in 2017 for defrauding Bureau de Change and phone sellers in Ikeja, has been convicted of the crime. But because he's been awaiting, the process of trial throughout that period, the court also freed him. He spent the year, he was sentenced to 7 years imprisonment, and he spent the number of years anyway, so the court has freed him. That's the basic story about it. So he's popular.
Do we have time for major headline? Before you rush me out of my seat.
Let's go on a break. When we come back, we continue with our review. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Still reviewing Punch. You have the major headline.
Yes, the major headline. So in continuation of the story of the INEC chairman who was speaking in the US, Manchester, he said that insecurity may likely hamper the 2023 general elections. And, everybody is afraid that the insecurity that started in the northeastern region, northwestern region, had now spread to other parts of the country, and that may likely affect the elections. And he said that over 41 attacks have been carried out in INEC offices across the state since 2019. And the attack started in Abia, May 9th, 2021, spread to Enugu, Ebonyi, with 3 incidents. In Imo, with 2 attacks. Anambra and Abia had 1 attack each. Bayelsa, Akwa Ibom, all had attacks. And the electoral body recorded 9 attacks in 2019, 21 incidents in 2020, and over 12 as of May 2021. And he also lost 9,836 smart card readers, 345 ballot boxes, and 135 voting cubicles, among other assets. But he is saying that the security agencies and security chiefs has assured him that they are on top of the game. So they are likely going to protect not just the materials, but also the personnel and the people who are coming to vote. So there's hope in that regard. And he went ahead to say that the BVAS, that's the biometrics that is being used, bimodal voter accreditation system, is a lot better than just the card reader, because then a lot of people had opportunity to hide and have more than 1 or 2. But with that beavers, it will show your face on that day, except you forget your face at home. You cannot hide and say you are two people.
I'm really looking forward to the elections. I really believe that this time around, INEC will get it right,
done with.
and then and hopefully people will feel that yes, their votes counted.
Okay.
Let me talk about ASU very quickly. ASU, I think we've taken the story before, but ASU, there was a meeting, 130 across all the chapters in the country. 136 meetings was held, where some of them had agreed to call off the strike alongside what I think a Court of Appeal last week had ordered that they call off the strike. And the House of Representatives also tried to wade in to get them to call off the strike. So after their meeting that they had across the 136 chapters in the country, some of them agreed to call it off. Others said it was supposed to be a conditional suspension of the strike. So some states were divided. Some were saying others had a gridlock. So but they're hoping that today we shall officially hear from ASU that the strike will be cancelled. We're hoping, and parents are keeping their fingers crossed that indeed today they'll cancel the strike.
I wanted to talk about the picture story. So the CJN, the acting CJN has been confirmed as the substantive CJN. Justice Ariwola has been confirmed by President Muhammad Buhari yesterday, and in attendance we had the governor of Oyo State, the vice president, and governor of Ondo State, attending that function. I like that he also pleaded that in this next coming elections, politicians should please allow the judiciary function independently. They would appreciate being allowed to function without pressure. And he also committed to doing reforms at the Supreme Court to take care of some of the issues that heralded his appointment in the beginning.
Okay, let's move on quickly to Vanguard. Obi unveils campaign team task INEC and security agencies. Lack of investors' confidence in economy worrisome, says NESG. Troops repel ISOP's terrorist ambush in Borno, kills 19 terrorists. Buhari will determine our campaign flag of, says APC. Court convicts Nollywood producer Egbegbe and 7 years fraud. Allow us function without pressure, CGN tells politicians. IMF lists measures for debt reduction in Nigeria, and national award depicts recovery progress for Ishekiri people, says the Olu of Warri. Okay, which story are we taking in Vanguard?
The Nigerian Economic Summit Group.
Okay.
Yes, they are expressing concerns over the investors' lack of confidence in the economy. So in a statement signed by Asue Igodalo for the board of directors, he said that the president has submitted the appropriation bill to the National Assembly, and it shows a huge deficit, and that limits the country's ability to attract and mobilize both foreign and domestic investments. He also went ahead to say that we've had issues in insecurity, foreign exchange, scarcity, entrenched capital controls, and unfriendly business environment, which is, discouraging a lot of investors to come in and invest in the country, that even the Nigerians themselves who are doing business here are finding it very difficult to survive. And so the president and the government needs to do a lot. So they said that the Nigerian delegation to the ongoing annual meeting to the World Bank, International Monetary Fund, will be expected to seek some support and ask a lot of foreign investors to come in. However, we need to be careful that we give a conducive environment for when they come in. And they cited the issue of the Kogi, the Obajana, and cement factory with Dangote as a way to discourage foreign investors, coming in to invest in the country, saying that if the state government can have that sort of issue without, settling it amicably, it will discourage people from investing.
Okay, another story in Vanguard, Nima. I was going to take the IMF. So IMF again, still at the event ongoing at the World Bank event. IMF was still saying that the federal government must increase revenue mobilization. That's obviously when they say revenue mobilization, I'm assuming is increased taxes or they get money to generate more revenue across board. So they said the federal government must increase revenue mobilization and leverage this high crude oil price to increase state capacity and remain and that should remain top priorities for the government, especially because we have to ensure that we fund our budget. And say, according to them, this was in IMF. I'm trying to see exactly what his quotation is. It says, absolutely critical for us to do this for stable growth and for some public finances in our countries so we can have enough liquidity for development in our country. But pretty much, they're just telling us again, we have to find other ways of generating income for our country. We can't continue to depend. And this increased crude prices should be used appropriately for infrastructure development and other capacity development according to IMF. But I wonder why they're the ones giving us this advice. But let us take another story. Let's move on quickly to the Nigerian Tribune. Amid fresh CUPP alarm, INEC says Beavers has come to stay. That's the coalition of political parties. Malami Oke's Stella Odua's arraignment over alleged 7.9 billion naira. Pek Oke's MTN takeover of the 202 billion naira Enugu Onitsha road construction. Delta Supreme Court to decide Edevbe Obure's fate. And Wike appoints 28,000 special assistants for polling units. 10,000 police officers undergoing training on digital skills. 10,000 teachers to write exams as Kaduna State for recruitment. PDP to Tinubu, you are dazed by Atiku's popularity. And Obi Dati absent as LP unveils 1,234-man presidential campaign council. Okay, which story are we taking?
Please, let me take Kogi State, Obajana. So the Commissioner for Information in Kogi State has scattered the table. He's insisting that, Kogi State in 1992 started the Obajana Cement Company and they held 100% of the shares on behalf of the people of Kogi State. He said they had taken a loan from a German, Dutch company. And that loan, 15 million Dutch mark to conduct feasibility assessment in that Obajana, where they found a vast residue of limestone deposits. And that because of that, they decided to start a cement company there. Dangote Industries Limited started sometime in years after. Dangote Industries, that even started earlier, did not start in 1992 when they found this. And that till today, Dangote, Kogi State still hold that 100% shares in the stock exchange for the people of Kogi State. So what they're asking Dangote to do is they say Dangote should to distinguish between asset grabbing and acquisition. So they're asking him separate acquisition from asset grabbing, and that he should present documents to show that it legitimately acquired. That Dangote continues to celebrate profit from Obajana, whereas they are still paying off the loan for which the research was done. And that so the two are not the same, that, Dangote should do more, that they are in trying to defend themselves, they're exposing their lies as well. That's what it stems.
Yes, so Kaduna State Universal Basic Education Board, KATSUBEB, said that examination for the recruitment of 10,000 teachers have been scheduled to take place in the 3 senatorial districts of the state between October 17th and 28th. They also said that the examinations will be holding at the Institute of Information Technology, KOFA DOKA, Zaria Kaduna State University, KASU, campus in Kaduna, and KASU Annex at Kafanshan, representing the northern, central, and southern senatorial zones, respectively. So they are advising candidates to visit katsubebjobs.com in order to print their examination slips, and the applicant should locate the printed exam slip button, enter the application number, email addresses, phone numbers, and click in on the sign portal. So that's what the paper said. They were helping their people understand what to do when they go to the site.
Nigerian police also say they're training 10,000 police officers for digital skills.
Yes,
they have a computer school. And that they've listed 10,000 that are undergoing training presently.
Okay, that is all we can take on Front Page Review.